If you're interested in moving to a higher dimension, let's say, or living heaven on earth, or shifting timeline to a different frequency, it is actually not as difficult as it may seem. It's going to take some effort and some willingness for sure. But the good news is, and I kind of trying to condense it all because the more I have been talking about this, it's just amazing. The clarity is just getting clearer and clearer. And I think I've said that before, and it is actually true, and it keeps happening. So, one thing is the more we engage in the topic of heaven on earth or a new earth, a new dimension, higher frequency, we start putting energy into that, whereas before we may just have talked about what's going on in the world and how terrible it is, whatnot. But the more we focus and talk about or engage in, contemplate, we are bringing energy to something that may not be fully visible or clear yet. And that's what I've been experiencing by sharing what I've been sharing. There's a sense of something, there feels like there's something here, and I'm kind of, going back, feeling it so I can bring it forth and let that speak through my mouth, if that makes sense. And the more I do that, the more comes. There's clarity, more information, more expansion. And not only that, then I connect with other people who are on that same frequency. Sometimes I watch a video, sometimes a friend of mine, we talk about something. I had a wonderful conversation with a friend earlier today. And it just kind of what I've been sharing and experiencing, it just grows and it's like, oh, now I see it even more. And it is wonderful. So, first of all, let's at least acknowledge the possibility that heaven is already spread all over the earth. That's what I've been talking about a lot. And I still love that paragraph from the Gospel of St. Thomas. So let's just for a moment at least imagine, like, okay, so maybe heaven is spread all over the earth and we cannot see it because it's not visible or audible to our senses, but it is here. Just by doing that, you are bringing attention to something that may be outside of your range of perception, but you're giving it some of your energy. And by doing that, it's almost like you open up a portal or you open up your receptivity to something that before you were not even aware of, so you couldn't give attention to it. So let's imagine heaven is spread all over the earth and we can't see it. So then we tune into that. And then you can ask the question, well, if heaven is here, what would it look like? What would it feel like to me, to you? What do you sense that you would really like? And then you just be still and you go like, oh, it would be nice to just, green forests, people walking hand in hand, people listening to each other from the heart, uh, walking around feeling peace filled and connecting with people on a new level, whatever it is for you. So you are sensing into that just by feeling, just by opening up, feeling like, well, what could it be? And the information comes in as a feeling or an imagination or an impulse. And what the mind often does is dismiss it. It's just me imagining it. But maybe it is true. What if it really is true? What if heaven on earth announces itself that way through your heart? Would it be worth listening to? Would it be worth taking it seriously? So it's just clearing away the debris of something to become aware of something that is already here. Now, one thing that we can be very sure of is already here is the sensation of I. You can just go back and like, well, I am aware of all of this. And then just turn back a little more to this I am. You can't deny that I am. You can't deny that there is something in you that can claim that it is here, something is here. Could it be that is heaven on earth, spread all over the earth? Could that be? And that we're not looking there. We keep dismissing it. We always go out and add something to it, our name, our gender, our role, our job. But let's drop that and then come back here and notice like, okay, I am here, and heaven on earth, the kingdom of heaven is here. I wonder if the same. Could that be? So then the more we spend time here, again, we give attention to here, to I, to the space. We give our attention to it, so we open up for it to start showing more of itself, more of who I am, more of what heaven is that is spread all over the earth. So now we are more connected with it and we can open up to it. So what we need to notice then, be cautious of, is the mind coming in and adding something to it or dismissing it or denying it, trying to do something with it. Then we are not seeing it again, because then we are going to the mind, and the mind is not it. So that's kind of the tricky part. And that is how we keep building these barriers, like Rumi talks about. We have to find out what these barriers are that we have built against love, against heaven spread all over the earth, against I am. Now imagine for a moment what it would be like to live without these barriers. And that can be tricky because we are so identified with them, aren't we? So identified with them. A lot of these barriers, they're like protection. Protection. Protection against what? Protection about being hurt. Protection about from other people, that they might hurt you or not see you, disappoint you, me, all of us. So what would it be like? Could it be that heaven is already here as you, as I, as everything, but it's not visible? But it is here. And the reason it's not visible is because of these barriers of protection that we build against that. So the more we tune into our longing, which is the expression of who we are, the more we tune into our unique expression, that means not trying to be like anybody else, but tuning into what is true. Where do we feel a yes? And where do we feel a no? And where do we feel I don't know yet? It's like it's your direct experience, moment to moment. What if we don't put any barriers around that, but just keep honoring and experiencing with an openness, with a curiosity who we are? That is what could definitely come under the category of self-love. Right? We allow everything. We don't not self-love what we are, because that's really the only thing. The barrier is called not loving myself. And that is probably the biggest barrier we all carry with us everywhere we go. And then, I can't be myself, because if I'm myself, nobody's going to love me and I'm not going to be liked, whatever it is. And in that, we shut off ourself from love. Now, love is who we are. So by allowing that expression that is unique, different, maybe silly, maybe serious, maybe wise and deep, maybe playful, that is the divine expression experiencing itself as you, through you, whoever you is. That is heaven on earth. I'm saying it like it's getting so clear to me that there is really nothing we need to do other than stop denying who and what we already are. And once we start allowing that expression, that unique weirdo expression, to just be what it is and then follow it, then we start having these synchronicities where we connect with others who are maybe in the same frequency or something similar, where some exchange can happen that's very organic and natural. And that feels fulfilling, because if I'm allowing my natural flow to flow through me, there has to be fulfillment in it. It can't be anywhere else. Where's it going to be? There's nothing else but this, and then the barriers that deny ourselves this. I hope I'm making sense, but it's just so alive in me right now. So it's really just by being ourselves, our unique self, not trying to be glamorous and be something we're not, but just the sweetness, the authenticity, and the beauty of who we already are. Can we let that come out? Can we let that be seen and expressed with others that are safe, where it's welcomed? That's where the magic happens, because then the portal can open up more and more can come through that is fulfilling, that meets our needs. It's very, very simple. And I'm just sensing it now, but it's very clear. And of course, for me, I have plenty of barriers that still are here. I may not even know what they are at this point, but as soon as I notice a protection, a judgment, closing off, then I know I'm closing off my flow. In that moment, I have a choice. I can make a choice. I can choose to not engage in that protection anymore. And I can instead engage with what I long for, which is love, which is connection. And of course, the barriers, they don't just drop away overnight. That is where the work is, where we connect with others who are also expanding in consciousness, where we all feel it is safe and okay to find out who we truly are in our fullness. And in that, we do it together, and then it expands even more, because we feel the permission and the okayness by being in a group of people where that becomes the new norm, right? We're used to being with people where it's not okay to be unique. It's not okay to be ourselves. And that's why we have everybody's trying to be like everybody else, do like what other people do, try and follow the rules, trying to be the good girl, the good boy, all that stuff. that has nothing to do with who you are, has nothing to do with allowing the flow to come through as you, as me. So that feels so good. It feels so lovely to express it, to share it here. And of course, I hope that it resonates with you and that you can also start really making more space for who you are and who you want to become. Because that's it. It's being and becoming. It's at the same time. We're being who we are, but we're also becoming more expanded. So we stay with that, the unfolding, and finding a safe place is very, very helpful in the beginning. I tell you, I could not have done it without that. And still to this day, when I am with friends on that same wavelength, something always opens up more, because there's the resonance and there's the permission and there's an okayness. And then it's like, oh, oh. And of course, that's something I love to provide and create a space for that to happen. So if you don't have it around you already, or if you need support in that, please reach out. My website is in the comments below. And I also still offer a monthly gathering online, the first Tuesday of the month. So make sure you join my email list, because then you will stay attuned to when I'm doing that. And it's very, very sweet and safe and nourishing, I would say. So, and if you like and enjoy my YouTube videos, please like, definitely subscribe, and definitely comment. It's wonderful to express that. It's lovely for me to receive it, and it keeps my channel more alive. So until we meet again.